I wanted to create something more advanced and more high tech than what was already out there.
TJ Oshie joining us here on KFAN, and what a week to have you, TJ. This is, my opinion, the most exciting, best time of the year. I know that you obviously have a deep connection with the Minnesota High School Hockey Tournament back in your War Road days. Tell me what your favorite part of the high school hockey tournament is.
Oh man. I think my favorite part as a player would have been getting to the XL and actually seeing what an NHL locker room looks like. And you get in there, and now that I've played in the NHL for a while, I realize that it's a little different without all the trainers running around and people doing stuff for you. But at the time, it was like, wow, this is what it feels like to make it to the NHL. This is the kind of locker rooms you get, the facilities, the ice. And I remember thinking back and really thinking like, this must be what it's like to like play in the Stanley Cup. So as a player, that was it. Now looking at it as a fan and seeing kind of the crowd and kind of the build up to the state tournament, it's just an awesome tournament to follow. I've always been in season, so I haven't been able to make it out there, but super fortunate that I'm going to be able to come out this time.
Obviously, a lot of pride in your World Warriors up in Hockeytown, USA. I mean, for those of us who haven't been able to make the trek up to World, what is it like, and why is it Hockeytown, USA?
Well, they definitely let you know when you enter the town with the hockey sticks on the water tower. Right there, you pass when you pull in the town, you pass the Marvin Windows and the Christian Brothers, the old Christian Brothers hockey stick plant, where it was officially my first ever job when I was 17. But man, people just live and breathe hockey up there. Everyone skates for free, which is, now that I'm finding out here in the DC area, that is tough to come by. And the whole town comes to the games, and it really is a family-oriented community, and everyone supports each other. I originally just moved there with just my dad, and felt like the town kind of raised me in my high school years. So it's truly is an incredible, special place, a phenomenal place to grow up in. And everyone's just at the rink. Once the ice goes in, I was there when school got out. I'd take a little short break to go find some food and come right back until probably 10 p.m. every night. So it is Hockeytown, USA.
Certainly a recipe for success. You had plenty of success here in this building in your high school years, a couple of state championships. What did it mean to win state and also just come down here and compete in the tourney?
Yeah, like I said, it felt like the Stanley Cup, and when we won both times, but especially in 2005 in double OT there. Our celebration, it felt like that was going to be the height of our careers. Something you work so hard towards. Maybe, I guess on my end, a little naive when we won in 2003, just thinking like, this is what Warroad does, and we win championships. It definitely was still special, but that 2005 season after losing in 2004 was super special. And the celebration was, I would say, as close to winning the Stanley Cup of anything that I've had in my career. Celebrating with your buddies, your teammates, your classmates. There's the whole town kind of comes down for the tournament, but it's a smaller town, so it's not like we filled out the lower bowl or anything. But going to the student section and the family section, it was amazing. Up to that point, definitely the highlight of all of my sports career.
I imagine that 6-7 hour bus ride back up north felt a lot quicker after that title.
Yeah, it was a little bit better, especially, when you get close to the town, you got, kind of a little parade going on. And yeah, it's definitely it's a ways up there. I was gonna take my girls up there this summer, and when they thought it was just like, a half hour, 45-minute drive, and I told them it was 6.5 hours. They're like, I don't know. That seems like a long ways to go.
Now, obviously, '05, a great year for you. I was wondering, did you ever make it over to Grand Forks or Thief River Falls that winter when the World Junior Championships was held at the Big and Little Ralph?
No, I did not make it over there. Gosh, I mean, I didn't even in high school. I mean, I didn't even really watch TV. I was at the rink like all day long. So if there was any excuse, whether it's like deer hunting season when everyone's out at their hunting cabins, or I mean, really any reason, if the town was a little empty because people were going down to see that tournament, I was on the ice. But I was always following the tournament, and really looked up to Zach Parisi. World's kind of split a little bit. There's like kind of half Gophers, half North Dakota, or I guess you could even throw in the Bulldogs in there. So I had my eye on North Dakota, and so Zach Parisi was the guy I looked up to very much, and wanted to pay attention to the tournament and watch him out there. So, but the World Juniors really is it's a special tournament, and even just to get into it, but actually play in it, wear the Team USA on your jersey, that always means a little bit more.
And you got to do it a year later. What was it like? I believe it was out in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What was it like putting on the red, white, and blue and representing your country out there?
It was amazing. I mean, I grew up, obviously in World, there's a rich tradition of players coming out of World and playing on Olympics teams. So that was something that kind of was on my goal sheet, but something that I thought, maybe wasn't a possibility, just being from the small town of Warroad and Minnesota high school hockey. You hear about, all the guys at the National Develop program and all that stuff, in Shattuck. But no, to be named to the team and to go play was super special. I say all the time, I'm like as American as it gets. Like, I don't even like traveling outside the U.S., which my wife doesn't love very much. But no, to put on that sweater, especially in Vancouver, just because my childhood was out in Everett, Washington, so we had to go up to Vancouver every weekend to play in kind of a Canadian league, and they weren't always so nice to the Americans when they got up there. So to go up to Vancouver and make that team and put on the red, white, and blue was crazy special. Meeting a lot of teammates that were future NFL or NHLers, guys that I played against for a long time, some guys that I played with. So it's a special tournament and a special part of my hockey career as well.
So obviously, any excitement to see that tournament come to the Twin Cities next year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if there was a place in the U.S. I thought the World Junior should be, it's definitely in the state of hockey. I think the state of Minnesota and the fans, I think they're going to put on a good show. I think it's going to be great for those young kids to come in and play in a tournament, represent all their countries, and kind of get a glimpse and a taste of how crazy Minnesota is for hockey.
Unfortunately, obviously, you weren't able to play in it, but to witness the swell of really national pride when it came to that Four Nations face-off, what was it like from afar to see that success in the National Hockey League and the potential for more international play in the future? Yeah,
I think it was great. I mean, I've had a couple of people ask me about it, and like, man, I thought it was going to be, kind of a goal scoring fest and everyone's on break. And I mentioned, I was like, a lot of these kids that are in this tournament, they weren't playing in the NHL in 2014. So they haven't got to put on the USA sweater. A lot of them make playoffs every year, so they're not able to go to world championships. You obviously had all the COVID stuff going on. So a lot of these players have been itching to put on the red, white, and blue and finally compete against other countries. So I think you saw a little glimpse of that once the tournament started. I think it was so phenomenal for hockey. And I'm super, super proud of Team USA with where our talent level has gotten to, even since I was playing. We play against Canada, and on paper, I mean, they were a little bit better than we were. We always had really close games, but now it looks like that team was right there with Canada, and honestly had just as easily could have won that thing. So I think the Olympics are going to be pretty special, and it goes to show you how good USA Hockey's done with developing these kids as they moved up. USA is right there.
Well, it's a great time for hockey, great time for all levels of hockey. And TJ, thank you so much for joining us here, and hope to see you back on the ice soon.
I wanted to create something more advanced and more high tech than what was already out there.